Hello everyone, my name is Rayanne. Welcome to another video. Today I will be telling you all of the completed series and trilogies I have read. So these are all of the trilogies I have read every single book in. Trilogies like ACOTAR and Throne of Glass, I have read every book that has been published currently in, but because it's not completed, the last books aren't out yet, they and other series like that are not included on this list. I've wanted to do a video like this for a while, and I've gotten a couple subscribers who have asked me all of the series and trilogies I have read, so I am really excited to give this video to you guys. Be sure to give it a big thumbs up for marathoning series, because I did that with a lot of these, and hit that red subscribe button down there to keep seeing more of my videos. And without further ado, let's just get started. So obviously the first series that I am mentioning is Harry Potter by J.K. Rowling. This is not a surprise to anybody who has pretty much ever been on BookTube or any of that, because I feel like the vast majority of people my age have read Harry Potter, and yeah, this is actually the, maybe not the first series I ever read, but it's probably my favorite, let's be real. The next series that I have read in its entirety is the Gala Girl series by E. Carter. This is kind of a like middle grade, really early YA story that follows a girl who goes to a school for spies. I read this in middle school and then finished, I think the last book came out when I was still in high school, but I don't really remember when. I really enjoyed this series. It is, you know, a little bit on the cliche side a little bit, but it is really good. I really loved it. The first book is I Tell You I'd Love You But Then I'd Have to Kill You. The titles of these books are also all really fun and like a clever play on words, and I really enjoyed this series. The next complete series I read, I do have copies for, but they're kind of hidden behind a bunch of books and it's kind of a pain to get them out, so I'm just not going to pull them out. But that is the Complete Little House on the Prairie book series by Laura Ingalls Wilder. My mother actually read these books to me when I was little, so they have a very special nostalgic place in my heart, and I really did enjoy them. The next series I want to mention is the Griffins trilogy by Derek Benz and J.S. Lewis. I read these starting at 5th grade and then ending in like 7th or 8th grade. I really loved these books. They kind of scared me a bit when I was a kid, but I loved them. It's The Revenge of the Shadow King, The Rise of the Black Wolf, and The Fall of the Templar. I thought this was a really cute story about a bunch of misfits and who just have to save the world, and I really enjoyed it, and I do not have the heart to get rid of it, which is why, even though I'll probably never read these again, I cannot unhaul them. The next completed series I have here is the House of Night series by PC and Kirsten cast. There are 12 books in this series. It didn't need to be 12. I will be 100% honest with you guys right now. It probably only needed to be like 5. But yeah, this is a vampire series that follows a girl named Zoe Redbird who is marked as a vampire. Vampires work very strangely in this universe where you don't become one if you're bitten by one. You have to be like chosen by the goddess of vampires or something. I don't know. I started reading these in 7th grade and I finished the last book in like freshman year of college, I think. It was an okay series. I have a book review up for the entire series where I get a lot of hate because I didn't like love it unconditionally, but whatever, that's none of my business. But I did actually finish this. The next trilogy I completed is the Divergent trilogy by Veronica Roth. I have not actually read the bind-up novellas 4. I will get to that when I get to that, but it's really not a priority anymore. But yeah, I really liked this trilogy. I thought it was really good. I haven't seen any of the movies beyond Divergent because I heard they all kind of just went downhill from there, and I have no really desire to see them. Yeah, I really did enjoy this trilogy, although I will not be reading Carve the Mark, so let's just address that. Sticking with the themes of dystopians, the next trilogy I completed is the Hunger Games trilogy by Suzanne Collins. You all know I really enjoy this trilogy. Catching Fire is the best book. I love the movies. I actually kind of like the movies a little bit more than the books, but I really enjoyed these. The next trilogy I wanted to talk about is the Ruby Red trilogy by Kirsten Gier. I love these books, and the covers are gorgeous, and the lead is a female time traveler, and the romantic interest is so damn attractive, and I love these books so freaking much. I am honestly contemplating rereading them soon just because I miss this world so much. There are movies for these. I think the third one, I don't know if the third one is out yet. It might be. Although the movies are in German because Kirsten is a German writer, and then these were translated into English by Anthea Bell. I've seen the first two movies. They aren't like really accurate, but I think they're very good, and I can't wait to watch the last one. You just have to watch them with English dubbing if you don't speak German like me, but I love this trilogy. I'm not really sure if this next trilogy counts because she added like 2 extra books afterwards, but it's the Selection trilogy by Kiera Cass. I really liked this trilogy. I was satisfied with the way it ended, and I really didn't have any desire to read about the next generation's selection. It just wasn't really something that I cared much for at the time. When she first announced it, I thought I was going to read it, but then I just never got around to it, and I heard kind of mixed things. So I don't really know if this counts, but I read like the OG trilogy, so I feel like it does. The next trilogy, I'm unaware of its proper name, but it is the Summoning trilogy by Kelly Armstrong. I read these years ago, and I still really love them. The main character is a necromancer, guys. Like, what is not to like? It's been a while, so I don't remember like exactly what the story is. I do remember though that the main character is a necromancer, and she's like best friends with a warlock, and then the warlock's brother is like a werewolf. I don't know. It sounds really cheesy, but I would kind of describe it as like, I don't know, maybe like supernatural, where all of these mythical creatures are like trapped in one like group home for troubled teens. I loved this book series, and it's one of my favorites, honestly, even though it has been so long since I read it. No big surprise, the next series is the Mortal Instrument series by Cassandra Clare. I finished this series last year for the first time ever. I had read the first 3 books and then just didn't care to read the last 3, and then Shadowhunters made me do it, so I have completed this series, and I really did enjoy it quite a bit. And then obviously, since I read the Mortal Instruments, I also read the Infernal Devices trilogy by Cassandra Clare. I liked this trilogy more than the Mortal Instruments, but I still really liked the Mortal Instruments, so like, you know, but yeah. No big surprise. You can't really read one without reading the other, you know? The next trilogy I have completed is one of my favorite trilogies of all time, and that is the Splinter trilogy by A.G. Howard. The covers on this trilogy, guys, like, they are so gorgeous. I love them so, so much. I haven't actually read the companion novel Untamed yet, but I will get to it soon. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. But yeah, this is a retelling of Alice in Wonderland. It is one of my favorite characters of all time in it, Morpheus, and I love this trilogy, and I honestly would recommend it to pretty much everyone. The next trilogy is one I just very recently completed, and that is the Shatter Me trilogy by Tahereh Mafi. I do not own Ignite Me because I never thought I was going to finish this trilogy, and then I bit the bullet and I finally read Ignite Me 2 years after I read Unravel Me. Ignite Me is the best book in this trilogy. I am happy I completed it, and I'll probably be buying a copy of Ignite Me to like have, because these are really pretty books. They're very pretty. And I am happy I finally bit the bullet and finished it, but I am also happy that I waited to read it. The next series that I have completed is the Twilight series by Stephenie Meyer. No real surprise. Obviously, I have read this book series. It was incredibly popular when I was in like 7th grade. And yeah, it's one of the main reasons why I read so much. Like, it got me into reading, and I will never not be grateful for that. The next series, I only have copies of the first and the 3rd book, but that is the Uglies Trilogy by Scott Westerfeld. I really, really loved these. I read them in middle school, and I need to buy Pretties, but I have like the original covers, and I can't find the original cover of Pretties. I can just like find the new like really nice like white sleek ones, and I don't really want to rebuy Uglies and Specials. But I really did enjoy this trilogy. I thought it was very good. I read it a long time ago, so my brain is a little bit foggy on a lot of the details, but I do remember really enjoying it. The next trilogy is one that I've finished this year, and I started it like very end of last year, and that is the Captive Prince trilogy by C.S. Pacat. This is an adult romance fantasy trilogy, very mature content, so maybe don't read it if you're underage. But I really did enjoy this trilogy. There are a lot of like really hard and difficult themes in it that a lot of people aren't comfortable with the way that it is portrayed in the first book, so they DNF the series, which I completely understand. I do want to let you know, though, that the themes that a lot of people are concerned with are addressed in the later 2 books, and I think that they're handled very carefully, and they are not, to my understanding, they are not problematic. But I could very well be wrong, and I want to let you know that before you go into the trilogy. I have a review for Captive Prince on my channel if you want to go watch that, and I have book reviews for all 3 books on Goodreads, but I really did enjoy this trilogy. Next up, I have the Vampire Academy trilogy by Richelle Mead. This is probably my favorite vampire series ever, because I love Richelle Mead's writing, and I love Vampire Academy, and it just gives me so much joy, and I love everything about it. The only reason I read this trilogy is because I was in a huge Twilight phase, and I remember standing in the back of Barnes & Noble so upset that I couldn't find something like Twilight. There was this really nice woman there who saw that I was frustrated and asked me what I was looking for, and I said I wanted a book like Twilight, and she said, well, this is my favorite vampire series ever, and she handed me a copy of Vampire Academy, and I never looked back, and I don't know who she is or where she is in life, but she's a saint, and I love her for helping a small little teenage girl find one of her favorite series of all time. No real surprise after that, I also read Richelle Mead's Bloodline series, which is the 6-book spin-off series for Vampire Academy, and I loved this series, not quite as much as I loved Vampire Academy, but like, don't get me wrong, this series is still incredible, and I love everything about it. And I got 12 books with Richelle Mead in this world. 12 of them. It is so nice! The next trilogy is the Kane Chronicles by Riordan. I love these so much, but you are probably aware that I have an issue with the love triangle in the 3rd book. But that doesn't stop me from absolutely loving this trilogy. This is Riordan's Egyptian mythology trilogy, and I love it so much, and it's so good, and it makes me so very happy because I love Egyptian mythology. And then obviously I have also read the complete Percy Jackson's and the Olympians series by Riordan. I have the OG covers, all of them in paperback with the exception of the last Olympian. That one's in hardcover, poor little guy, but I had to get these as well. I love this series to death. It means the world to me. I read it. I actually had to read The Lightning Thief for school. Like, it was a summer reading book going into 7th grade, and I'm so glad that I had to read it because I have an entire shelf of Riordan because of this series. And then also, obviously, I have read the Heroes of Olympus series by Riordan, which is the continuation of Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Yeah, I mean, like, duh, of course I've read these, and I loved them. Riordan is, like, part of my childhood. Like, when I think of the books that I read in childhood, like, beyond the ones my mom read me, it's J.K. Rowling and Riordan, and I couldn't be more grateful. So there you have it. Those are all of the completed series and trilogies I have read. You might notice other full series on my shelves that I did not mention. That's because I have not finished them. Like, the Chronicles of Nick, I have every book for, haven't finished it. The His Fair Assassins trilogy down here, have not finished it. I still need to read the last one. Still have to read all 3 of these, so I still have a lot more series I need to complete that I do have all the books for, but I'm just crap and trash, and that's what it is. But yeah, in a comment down below, please let me know one of your favorite series or trilogies that you have completed. I would love to hear it. I hope you guys enjoy the video. I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you later with another one. Bye!